How's it going, everyone? Hope you're all having a great time now during quarantine. Right now, if you don't know the date, it is May 2020, and I'm now in Austin, Texas. So this is downtown Austin. Right now, they're building so many new skyscrapers, as you can see. In Austin, is just continuously growing here. I've lived in Austin now for about 5 years. And in different parts of Austin. So Austin is a very unique and interesting town and city. I've lived in a variety of other cities before this. I've lived in Atlanta, Georgia. I've lived in different parts of Florida, Dallas, Texas. Traveled all around the world. I've been to about 30 countries so far. And within the US, I've traveled to many large cities as a consultant. So I've been to many cities, I've stayed in many cities constantly, and I wanted to give my review of Austin, Texas. Now, a lot of folks are moving here. There's a lot of tech companies that have moved here, like Google, Oracle, and a variety of other ones that are moving to Austin as well. Now, there's several pros and cons of Austin, and I wanted to give my analogy and feedback on that. So I've lived in downtown Austin, different parts like Rainy Street, if you guys are aware of that. Downtown smack dab right by Congress Avenue. And Arboretum area, if you guys know, that's North Austin. Wells Branch, which is next to Round Rock. Dell's headquarters is located in Round Rock. And Domain area. So I've lived in many different parts of Austin, and I think that what makes Austin very unique is where you live as well. North Austin, like those areas I named, like Domain or Arboretum or Round Rock, they're nice areas to live, but they don't have the Austin vibe. And what I mean by that is there's a saying called "keep Austin weird," and most of those things are here in downtown or South Austin. So if you really want to experience Austin, I recommend living in those areas or commuting to South Austin. The issue is traffic is very heavy here. It really depends. It's heavy, is bad, but I felt Atlanta, Georgia traffic was pretty bad. So and there's other cities like LA and such during rush hour that you're going to be just stuck on the highway. But to be frank, traffic is pretty bad. The cost of living has dramatically gone up. I was paying about $1,100 when I first moved here about 5 years ago. That same apartment complex I had lived at is now gone up to about $1,400. So as you can imagine, within 5 years, it's gone up about $300 a month for rent. And the reason why is that there's basically a shortage of housing. Now they're building like mad crazy here. Even with this lockdown and quarantine, there is a variety of new buildings going up, housing going up. It hasn't stopped. It never stopped during the quarantine of the virus that was going around. So it's continuously growing, and people are moving here in flocks. The thing is, the vibe of Austin has changed as well. What I mean by that is now becoming a metropolitan city. And with metropolitan cities, you've got traffic, you've got a variety of different congestion, and you've got the vibe or feeling of the city diminishing away. So when I was here 5 years ago, I've noticed changes each and single year of Austin changing, and that keep Austin weird, not degrading, but being lowered over time. Not to say that it's still not there, it's still there, but it is the vibe. If you talk to Austinites, those are folks that have lived here for a very long time, they're gonna say the same thing. So these are things that I've noticed over time. Austin has a pretty good food scene if you're a foodie, but in comparison to Houston, Texas, I think Houston has a very large diversity. That's one thing that Austin does not have, I feel like it. Majority, if you look at the US Census Bureau, you'll see majority of the people that do live in Austin are Caucasian, whites, Hispanic, and then it diminishes down to a very small portion of African American, Asian, and so forth. So is really interesting. If you compare that to, let's say, Houston, Texas, or Dallas, Texas, those cities actually have a lot of diversity in comparison-wise. Another thing to consider is with Austin is the age group. It's a very young and vibrant city. So that's one thing I like about it compared to Dallas and Houston. Not to say there is not a younger crowd over there is, but the denominator, the large portion of younger folks definitely here in Austin. And there is the University of Texas Austin. It's a big college university here in downtown. They also have another one here in downtown, so near downtown. So they have a very large group of people that live here. Now, one vibe I like about Austin is, the people don't show off. If they even have money, they don't show off their flaunt. They wear regular clothing and drive regular cars for the most part. Comparison to Dallas or Houston, even people that don't have money, they're flaunting, cars and loans with those vehicles or houses to show what they got. It's very different in Austin. They don't really flaunt as much. Now there are people that do flaunt it, but not as much. It's a little bit laid back of a city. Food, the great thing about Austin in comparison to Dallas or Houston or a variety of other cities is a grocery store called H-E-B. They have it here in Austin. They have it in San Antonio. Great selection, great prices. That's one thing I noticed here in Austin is I really enjoyed H-E-B as a grocery store, and I still enjoy it. The headquarters of Whole Foods is here as well. Whole Foods has been changing. They got bought out by Amazon, so I'm noticing a lot of changes. This in terms of this everything is becoming more of a... Before it was a company it was different as a company beforehand, but since they've got acquired by Amazon, a lot of factors have been changing in terms of, I don't know for the best, but I'll let you guys do the research and look into it. But let's see what else. Those are the main things. Outdoors, that's one thing I love. And Austin has outdoors. They have a lot of outdoors activities here, like lakes and rivers. And it's a great thing with this city. Dallas, they don't it's a concrete jungle, I feel like it in Dallas. And people will say that too. They have lived in Dallas. And I lived in Dallas for about 2.5 years. Different parts, like a downtown and North Plano area. So I'm familiar with it. And is this a different, city in itself? We have an airport here in Austin. It's a fairly small airport. You can't go international like Houston or Dallas. It's fairly small. It's getting a little better, but it still has a long way to go. In terms of, let's see what else. That's about it, guys. To be frank with you, I love the city. It's a great city to live in. Another factor to keep in mind as well is if you're coming here for a job, majority, if not all the jobs here are, the reason why Oracle, Google, and a lot of these companies have offices here, including Facebook, is they're hiring a lot of the kids or folks out of UT Austin. Cheaper labor, they can hire them, and majority of the positions that are working are inside sales positions. So if you look at Oracle, if you look at Google, if you look at Facebook, they're 80-90% of the positions that are in those offices are all inside sales. So they're hiring younger folks, pay them a lower amount, give them a lower amount of base, but give them a high potential of commission, which is highly taxed, FYI, if you haven't been in sales. So those are the positions here. They're more entry level. Now, not to say that there aren't non-entry level positions in Austin. There are other positions here, but in terms of if you're looking at a demographic or percentage of positions, 80% of the positions are the lower tier, the inside sales, beginning sales positions, and you've got the 20%, 25%. That might be the managerial positions. That might be folks that are consultants or sales specialists, field sales specialists, outside sales reps. Just different positions like that that are the 20%, 25%. And as you can imagine, if you're somebody that's very experienced with over 10 years of experience in the field, you have a lot of competition you got to go against. So just keep that in mind. Not to say that there's not positions out there. There are. You know, VMware's here, which is acquired by, you know, Dell, that acquired EMC, which is now called Dell Technologies. They're headquartered in Round Rock. Indeed is here. Indeed is, you know, again, I mean, Indeed is back. Actually, one of their buildings is right there. So that's their Indeed building right here in downtown. They have another one up north by the 360 bridge. But I have friends that work at Indeed, and you know, the positions there are, you know, they've got software engineering. I mean, all companies have software engineering positions. They have software, computer engineering, computer science, developers. They have those positions, no doubt about it. They have it here. But you know, you're gonna get somewhat of a normal pay. You're not gonna go crazy. And with the higher housing costs, the housing costs have dramatically gone up, and they're going to continue going up because of the housing shortage. You know, it's all about supply and demand. You know, I think that there's going to be somewhat of a, I mean, they're calling it the second Silicon Valley here, which is understandable, but the positions here are just different. I think the positions here are a lot different than what you get in Silicon Valley, or they have another type of Silicon Valley in, I think not Boulder, Colorado, but an area in Colorado that has dramatically gone up in prices of the homes and this rentals and everything over there. But those two areas, the positions are just different. The way things are done are just different. So keep that in mind. I know a lot of folks are not aware of that, and they might be become aware of that once they get here. But I just wanted to make this quick video here. I hope it was helpful. I firmly believe Austin is a beautiful city. There's a reason why I've stayed here for so long, and I actually came back to Austin from living in Dallas for some time, and it's due to the unique nature of it, right? And that it's changing, it's dwindling a little bit, but it's still there in comparison to a lot of other cities out there. So I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to post it below. I'm more than happy to answer them. If this was helpful in any way, press that like button. It really helps out the channel. It helps out everything. And subscribe for more videos. Thank you.